you off. Now you can do this with any shape. So the idea is we want to make some cool designs, being creative with rotating our shapes and changing the way they look. So you can take any shape and flatten it to get an interesting look. That would be pretty interesting. I think I'm actually going to use this. Let me get a color there. Now, obviously I don't want to use it that way, so I'm going to start by rotating it. And I'm going to watch that square around it for what looks level. Okay, so now I'm going to flatten it. And you can see I have the fixed resize on, so I'm going to flatten it. All right. And for these designs, it doesn't matter if they're floating right now as we put together the design because it's our design. So now from the top, you see I have this nice looking shape. So I'm going to duplicate it. You know this process. I'm going to change the size. So I'm going to keep it free resize. And I'm going to take away 4 millimeters from each, I think. So I'll make that 16. Now, this Y is my thickness. See, when I turn it up to this side, that's my green. So I'm not going to change that, but I am going to change the X to 8. All right, let's see if I need to make that a different color. Yeah, I need to change my thickness, huh? Good. Now I'm going to make it come down here a little bit. Because this isn't a flat shape, it's a little trickier. Okay. So when I take this out, looks like an avocado, but when I take out the purple, that'll be the shape I work with. So let's do it. All right. So now it's the same idea. Now I could do all the rotating around, but one trick that might be helpful is to create, you might have seen me do this before in the previous one, create a base. So I'm going to make 4 of them. What? I didn't mean that. And then one more. All right, so you saw I had this one saved earlier, and you might want to save it here. Click finish, then you can use it for other bases. Like you could put different shapes in between it. I thought some of the flat shapes, so putting like this, you know, sort of changing it up a little and making maybe some in-between shapes. You know, so I'm going to call this 4-petal design because I can do lots of things with that from here, but I'm not done with what I want to do right now. So I haven't linked these. I'm going to do that just like I did with the previous shape. And then I'm going to duplicate it. Because that right there is a really quick way to get lots of fun angles. Look at that. So any shape you use, get your north, south, east, west, whatever you want to call it, top, bottom, left, right, and then do your rotating until you get it the way you want. And I can link those. Make sure I can find them both. There we go. And I can put a circle in the middle I can add things here. I can do all sorts of things to create another fun decoration. Also, so now I'll call this the 8-petal design. So try lots of different shapes, or be, courageous. Try interesting things. We're not trying to make like a snowflake like we did. We're trying to make designs that we think would be fun for decorations of any sort. And you can see I have a number of them here that I've worked on just as I was experimenting. But these I'll be able to use any time I want. I can just go get them and adjust them. The one last thing I want to show you that might be interesting is you can use letters for this kind of project. So you probably want something not with those fonts. So you can use any letter, but the tilde, which you get by pressing Shift and the key next to 1, gives you that squiggly line. Look at how fun that is. Make it bigger. And actually I want to make it thinner too. See if I can do that. Free resize. Look at that. I can rotate that now, and that's a letter. Duplicate it. And rotate it. So I could put these with something in the center. I can put them going, crisscrossing across each other. So I can use these as the basis for, rotating. See what I'm getting at? But I can also add them to designs in so many ways. So make use of that, of letters of all different shapes, and try using some duplicating and rotating to see what you can get that would be fun and interesting. Now, and I'd like to maybe put a hole in the middle of that once I get them all lined up the way I want them. All right, so your job this week is to do some patient, careful designing. We're creating just designs, fun designs that would be decorations, or, I wonder what the letter S would be, or fun designs that you think, I don't know, you just might like them because they're fun. So get your tools, use some subtracting, use some duplicating, and do some rotating. And save different versions so you can build off of them. I could even maybe start combining some of my ideas. Like, what if I took this design A and added some curved shapes in the middle? Get creative. I can't wait to see what you make.